So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and for some reason I was in one box and Paddy's in here. Yeah, but Paddy's on his way. And Aston Villa won 3-1, just like I told you. Sometimes it pays to listen to Uncle Neil and just like maybe you don't even need to watch the game afterwards. I pretty much called Aston Villa would go 1-0 down early in the game and come back and win 3-1. I certainly didn't have Emi Martinez saving a penalty. I certainly didn't have 2 red cards in this game. I didn't have an own goal to make us go 3-1 or a deflected shot to make us go 1-1. But Aston Villa win 3-1, and that's all that matters. And no, I didn't back it. For any of you wondering, I did not back that result, and I should have. I should have backed that result, but I didn't. But yeah, listen to Uncle Neil in future. But I know I'm only joking. Look, as I say, this is a big game for Aston Villa. Aston Villa just needed to get the win, and I'm just looking at Emi Martinez here remonstrating with the referee there over what I can only imagine was the Jaden Philogene sending off, which was probably the only black mark on the game. And I probably have, I look watching back and I'm just looking at a replay of it here now. He pushes him. It's something silly. In any other game, that's not a yellow card. But after he sent Joachim Anderson off for it, I think 20 odd minutes earlier, I think he just felt he had a decision to make and he made it. Look, it is what it is. Misses the Bournemouth game. Don't really, like, as I say, for Philogene, bad for him. But as I say, it could have been much worse. If it was, let's just say it was a straight red, which it certainly wasn't. But look, we get over that. I'm just looking at the Ollie Watkins header there again. Ollie Watkins, for a player that, like, I can understand, like, watching Twitter, a lot of people were saying that Ollie Watkins wasn't in the game, should be taken off. But he has this innate ability, and I think, and Paddy's just coming in here now, so I'm just going to bring Paddy in. He has this innate ability to be able to just score a goal while not even being contributing in the game. And it's like it's fair to say that he wasn't really in the game much today. He had one shot that was saved by Burnt Leno, and then Leno came out and stopped him for another one. But that header at the front post, we've seen that before. Onana did that header again in the first game, wasn't it, against West Ham? It was that
John
routine
Duran
again.
as well, didn't he?
And John Duran, did Duran do one as well? Yeah, it's that routine, but it's changing up the player who's in movement, who's in motion. And that was fantastic. But I was just going on a bit of a soliloquy there, Paddy, before you came in. 3-1 Aston Villa, and the table is looking really good if you're an Aston Villa fan. 1 point off the top. I know we're only in 4th place, but 17 points out of a potential 24, and only 1 point off Liverpool, with Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal to play. That's a healthy position considering we've got Bologna to come and we've got Bournemouth at the weekend.
Yeah, very healthy, very happy with the result. First and foremost, we could have we could be in a much healthier position, but for the Man U and Ipswich draws, which we probably could have got a win out of. So to get the 3 points today, to get the points on the board when we're playing games that we should win, and let's face it, they were average today. Although they did obviously score that goal where we thought Pau Torres was bullied and was poor for it and could have been a bit stronger. And we can't be giving away goals like that and having to because we will play better sides than that will hold out and beat us if we do. So I think all round we can be happy, but for a couple of things in there, obviously Jaden's yellow card. I don't know whether you've got to that yet. I've no problem with the second yellow. I do, however, have a problem with the first one.
Me too.
I thought it was soft. I thought it was really soft. And the reason I think it's soft is he let them away with murder. He let Raul Jimenez at one stage in the first half come through the back of someone and win the ball. Well, kick the ball, but it was a yellow card all day long. And then he got up and kicked the ball away and gave nothing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think there's an agenda with young English players. Rodgers picks up a number of yellow cards like that too, where he probably shouldn't pick them up, and he's left himself with a decision there that he has to send the fella off now for a fucking stupid push in the back, and that's the one blot on the copybook. The most important thing here is that we've won 3-1, a couple of excellent goals in there. We've what looks to be come away without any injuries. Carlos went down with looked like a groin injury at the end.
Yeah, I'd say
We
he's fine.
lost a couple of players back on the pitch, which was great. And lo and behold, we get a player sent off and give Leon Bailey another lifeline to give himself a run on Tuesday.
Yeah, he was bad today,
next
wasn't he?
Saturday, he was average today, very, very average, and still looked off the pace. Sorry, not on Tuesday, but definitely next Saturday he'll probably start again. So, yeah, it's look, it's a result that we would expect. I'm delighted. I've just over the moon that we've got through this one. We're a busy run of fixtures now coming up, so it was important to get the wins on the board. I think this weekend and next weekend, as far as the league is concerned, is very important that we get wins on the board. So we've got one of the two. Hopefully now we can go and beat Bournemouth. Hopefully Bournemouth can go and beat Arsenal this evening as well, and get their nice result out of the way before they come and play us. But yeah, no arguments with me on the penalty either. Your hand in an unnatural position, it should be a penalty. Yeah. But what about the penalty at West Ham last year on Paddy's Day? I fucking sing it till the cows come home. They're consistently inconsistent. If your hand in an unnatural position, it's a penalty. There is no argument. So they want to give it for some, and they don't want to give it for others. And look, that's ultimately that 3 points at West Ham could have made a huge difference to us in the run in last season. And then again today, he gives it for a hand and correctly so. Absolutely no problem with the penalty decision. So he should give it. I know some people are not happy about it, but you put your hand up like that when the ball's in the box, you're asking for trouble. You just can't do it. And I think take that out of it. I think Matty Cash had a really good game today.
I was just about to ask you, what did you make of his game overall? Because it's been polarizing online.
Yeah. No, I thought he had a decent enough game. I can't argue. I understand that people will be tainted by the fact that he's given away that penalty, but I think across the park, I think most people had a decent or above average performance, with the exception of Leon Bailey, who just doesn't look right at all, whatever is going on. Got very frustrated going off the pitch as well, which I didn't like. He just needs to deal with this himself and sort himself out. If he's not fit enough, he needs to go away and sort out the injury and get himself fit. But he looks like a fella devoid of fitness and devoid of confidence. So that needs to be addressed and sorted, because we can't carry passengers in this day and age. So if we're going to be competing for top four, we need 11 fellas with a stomach for the fight and fit enough to have a stomach for the fight. So look, more minutes in the bank for we got a few players onto the pitch as well, which was great to see Buendia out there, to see John McGinn back out there. Probably won't be ready for Tuesday, you would imagine, but may get more minutes on Tuesday. But I think we've been missing his influence on the pitch, so it's great to see that he's fit and ready and raring to go. And we didn't even have to take the risk with Boubacar Kamara, so he can take another few days without getting minutes in the bank. So all good, all positive, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And look, we found that Philly D makes a great point here, that Duran is competition for the best impact sub. He said Diop is pushing him hard now. He was only on the field, I'd say, about a minute and a half, and he puts the ball in the back of his own net. Which, look, we needed that third goal, I thought. Because the game was Noah was taken up by the scruff of the neck in the second half. First half was a great watch. First half was a brilliant watch. Go 1-0 down in 4 minutes, a fortuitous goal to get us back. Then we give away a penalty, and then after the penalty, we're by far away the better team. Then going into half time, both teams would feel like they should have been winning at half time, but it was a 1-1 draw. And then Villa come out in the second half, and the second half was a bit more of a cagier affair. There was definite changes made on both sides. The West Ham. Why do I always go to West Ham as the team that we're playing? Fulham, they tightened up on their right hand side, our left hand side, Dina's side. They tightened up there because we had lots of joy down there in the first half, and we still had joy down there in the second half as well. Midfield became a small bit tighter at the start of the second half, but then the sending off just blows the game wide open again. We gone 2-1 up at that stage, so it didn't really make much of a difference. If I'm not mistaken, we gone 2-1 up anyway. But just goes to show that when a game is tight like that and you've got a set piece. You've got an upper hand, or at least a set piece aura, because I think Villa have that now. I think we have a set piece aura that we can do things from set pieces that other teams are like going, what the fuck are they going at? Like, who's coming from where? Where's the ghost? Like, people start seeing ghosts like that from corner routines if you start scoring. And specifically, we just said it there, Paddy, that this is the third time we scored from that exact same routine, but it's a different man making the run. So teams are going to look at that and they're going to go, somebody's going to be running into that area. And they must have known somebody was running into that area, but they didn't know who it was. So therefore, it's difficult to stop. So, the game then peters out after that. The third goal happens in the game, kind of peters out at that stage. But as you say, it gives us time to bring people on. Paddy, who do you think your man of the match was today?
A tough one. I think if Luca Dean didn't keep passing the ball back to the edge of the box in the first half, we might well be giving it to him. You see what happened. The very first one he puts in along the 6-yard box, it creates mayhem, and they score an own goal from it. I just couldn't get my head around the fact that he's obviously been asked to drag the ball back to the guys. Obviously, we've got an embarrassment of riches of guys that can score from the edge of the box, so that's why he's obviously been told to do it. We've got to mix it up a little bit. But like, for me, he's been one of our best players this season. He's been absolutely phenomenal. That we can bring in someone of the quality of Ian Maatson and not been able to challenge him for his position says a lot for how he's done. I thought Yuri Tielemans he probably started a little bit off the pace, but really grew into the game and played very well. I thought Rodgers, expressed himself more today than he has done throughout the season. He was getting on the ball a bit easier. Maybe that's just the quality of the opposition. I don't know. But very hard to pick. It wasn't one of those outstanding performances. We got the job done. We gave ourselves work to do at the start. But look, there's a good few guys there putting up their hands for man of the match for me. And look, I'm just looking at the comments here, and it's really divided on Matty Cash. I can't believe it.
I genuinely didn't see, like, the penalty. Say what you want, like, it's a header from point blank range, and you can say the hand was out. Look, we know that if the hand is out there, but it's very difficult to control how you jump for a ball or how you turn your body like that and keep your hands down by your side. Like, if he falls over in that instance, he looks like a numpty, and his body naturally won't let him do that.
You've done that all your life. If that's how you've attacked the ball all your life, it's very hard to change. And they did tell us years ago that, if you're very close to the ball, when it suited them, when you're very close to the ball, they didn't give the penalty. But that's I would say there's 3 or 4 that Matty Cash had given away like that. I remember one at Man City that was nearly on the end line, and he was about a foot away from the ball, and they gave the penalty. So if they're gonna give them, they have to give them all. And I absolutely don't blame him as a player. I think he was absolutely fine today. And look, people can be divided. Everyone's entitled to an opinion, but I think he's the best right back we have at the club until Nedeljkovic convinces me otherwise. Don't get me wrong. I've said it so many times. I'd rather see Nedeljkovic in there than play Konza at right back.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I think everybody's in agreement with that. But I think Matty Cash is a good, solid Premier League right back, and until Nedeljkovic gets up to speed and gets the trust of Unai Emery, we're going to see Matty Cash in there, so we better get used to it.
Yeah, I have no issue with Matty Cash there. I genuinely don't have an issue with Matty Cash in there. As I say, save Konza for centre half, please. And we're on record as saying that, all the statistics pointed at the end of the season that Konza would make a sparkling right back, but we need him as centre half. I think we need him as centre half. He's just such a brilliant centre half. That you're robbing Peter to pay Paul, I think there. For me, I think man of the match was easily Yuri Tielemans. And a lot of people agree with me there as well. Like, this guy's passing is it's like melted butter. It's just smooth. It's beautiful to watch. Really, really is. And the way that he just plays people like, there's a skill in being able to play a simple ball forward. There's an incredible skill in it. You know, a lot of teams at the minute are, and you see it with Man City, and you see it with a lot of teams in the continent. They're trained, and it's what do people call it? The pepification of football. You're trained to pass the ball the way that you're facing, and then move into a position that's further forward to be able to receive that ball further forward. So obviously that's been an age-old piece, especially in youth football. Is if you're facing backwards and you can pass the ball to a person, don't take the risky opportunity to turn with the ball. And that's why people are talking about, the street footballers are beginning to be bred out of football at the moment, and where's the spontaneity that comes from football? But you know, I'm okay with that, playing the ball the way that you're facing, because when you've got somebody like Yuri Tielemans, you can play those triangles. And when Tielemans is facing forwards, best of luck in the midfield and trying to stop his pass, because his passing just goes like almost millimeter perfect a lot of the time, specifically when he's playing those through balls. Like the goal for Rodgers, if I'm not mistaken. It's a simple pass, but he breaks a full line in midfield to get the ball to Ramsey, I think it is. And then Ramsey gets it into Rodgers, and Rodgers takes the shot, and it gets deflected and it goes in the opposite side of the goal. But we don't get that ball forward. You know, most teams in that instance there, Tielemans might have gone lateral or maybe even gone back to the centre halves and tried to recycle it again. But it's having someone in there who can take that ball and pass it forward confidently is so, like, it's not a huge pass. It's maybe 10 yards of a pass. But it's the right 10-yard pass. And that's worth its weight in gold. And, you know, we spoke an awful lot in the comments. We were all through the summer. And this is not having a go at anybody for their opinion. I agreed with people that I thought we'd missed that with Douglas Luiz. But we're not. And we're still able to bring other areas of the field into play. And we're scoring goals. Yes, we're conceding goals, but we're scoring goals. And that's all that matters. So the system, like, no one person is bigger than the team. And like when Douglas Luiz gets sold during the summer, we see that we've got the exact right replacement to pop in here and play within the system, and it's reaping rewards as it did today. You know, and I think Yuri Tielemans was absolutely excellent. And I give an honourable shout out, and I was talking about it before you popped on there, to Ollie Watkins for the absolute Trojan work he does. And he's frustrating to some people who want to see your centre forward take the ball down, turn and run at striker or run at defenders. It's not going to be his game in this system. It's not going to. He's going to get on the ball. He's going to fluff some chances because he's going to be cold. But when he's hot in an instance like that and he runs across the defender and bullets a header into the back of the net, that's Ollie Watkins. You know, Harry Kane scored 30 goals a season, many's the season, by not having many touches of the ball, but being there when it counted. And hopefully Ollie Watkins continues to build on that. Not man of the match, but just an honourable mention, that because it was a point that I never finished at the start when I was talking.
Probably could have done better with his initial effort, but that Leno got a hand to, maybe left it a little bit too close to him. So if we're going to say he did very well, we have to call out the points where.
And that's what I'm saying. You know, he doesn't get.
I think at this time last year, I think Ollie Watkins just chips that over Bert Leno, and we've another goal on the board. But it's just not. Those ones aren't falling for him at the moment. But look, absolutely brilliant finish from the header. Absolutely brilliant work. And a special mention to our set piece coach, who's getting these right and getting plenty of them to get right. We felt at one stage we had about 10 corners in a row in the first half as well. Yeah,
well, I think we had 10 corners overall in the game, or at one stage we did anyway. Because I remember the commentator mentioned that it was when after Anderson got sent off, I think. Yeah, but yeah. Look, once again, I think massive kudos as well today has to go to Unai Emery. Like, subtle changes in midfield, subtle changes at how we went at Fulham in the second half, and once again, you know, we talked about it. Or I spoke about it anyway in the pre-match game, in the preview last night or Thursday night, was, you know, set pieces were our ace up our sleeve last year, you know, with Aston McPhee. We've kept those set pieces, but what we've also added with our ace up our sleeve, and that teams, once again, as I say, we've become intimidating, and it's psychosomatic for a lot of teams. When we bring our people off the bench, teams are wondering, and they're going, like these guys are coming on, they're every bit as good. They're changing games. It's like in American football, and I'm going to go down an American football route for anybody who doesn't follow. Last year or maybe the year before, Philadelphia Eagles used the thing called the tush push. Everyone might remember it, the brotherly shove, and they were the only team that could do it because there was this aura built up about it. And all it gained was 1 yard, but it was 1 yard that won them an awful lot of games and stuff like that. And teams got into their head they couldn't defend it, and they were almost giving up for a finish, And that's what kind of an aura or kind of a stigma that builds up around the league. Alex Ferguson won league title after league title after league title after league title for the stigma of Fergie time. He did nothing different than Fergie time, other than he got lucky once, twice, 3 times, and went on and beat his chest about it in post match press conferences and made it out that it was all his doing. And that's what it is. It's aura. It is psychosomatic, a lot of that stuff. And fuck it, for once, Villa are the ones who are getting in people's heads from that point of view and getting the positive benefit out of it. And long may it continue, because it's those marginal pieces that will get a team like Villa consistently into the top 4 and win games we shouldn't win, like we did against Bayern Munich. So
exactly.
Kudos to Unai Emery.
There was one conversation that went on when Jacob Ramsey came off between him and Unai Emery, and I would have loved to hear what he said to him, because I guarantee you what he said to him was motivational as opposed to critical, because he's close to being back to the Jacob Ramsey we know. He looks fit, and I think with just a little bit more confidence and traveling with the ball a bit more, we'll get him back to full tilt. And bear in mind, we know Bailey's not a full tilt. Ollie Watkins has taken a while to come up to speed. There's so many players that are in there that are probably not fully fit, and yet here we are, 1 point off the top of the league. I know that's only probably for the next hour, but wow, it's just class. We're in a really, really strong position here, and I'm super positive after today. I'm a bit disappointed over the yellow card and how easy he gave away the penalty and stuff like that, and how easy we gave away the goal. There are a number of things there that we could nitpick at, but the bottom line is that both of us said before the game that we'll probably go behind and we'll probably win this game, and that's exactly how it pulled out. And we've got to be thinking now that regardless of what happens throughout the game, if we go behind, we have the firepower and the bench power to go and win games against absolutely anybody. So onwards and upwards, it's just, it's absolutely bonkers that we've got, we're talking like this, and we're a little bit probably not as what's the word, animated as we'd normally be after a victory. But and here we are looking at a Champions League game on Tuesday. It's absolutely brilliant.
You're dead right. Like that's what I was going to say. It's hot and heavy, for the next 2 weeks. You've got Bologna, then Bournemouth, then you've got Crystal Palace, you've got Spurs, Club Brugge, Liverpool. So that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in 2 weeks. Bring it on. We're going to need our squad. Are we going to get maximum points from those games? Unlikely. But start by beating Bologna, start by beating Bournemouth and having 9 points in the Premier League, which will almost guarantee you into the playoffs. And then you've got Club Brugge coming up. Or sorry, what did I say? The Premier League and Champions League. And then beat Bournemouth and solidify that. Then you've got Spurs and Liverpool, which aren't going to be easy games, and whatever you take from them adds to your tally of keeping them behind you or just barely in front of you in Liverpool's case as well. And then we've got 2 weeks of international break. Hopefully there's a couple of niggles going around where players can stay at home and don't have to go on international break. And then when we come back, then we don't have an easy run of it either. Then we're straight back into the 2 weeks. So this squad is going to be needed. And the good times, there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be fluctuations, with regards to how we play. The real meat and potatoes of how the squad rotation is going to happen over the next 2 weeks, and is going to happen between now and Christmas, probably between now and the middle of January. And that's where our season is going to take shape. We had a massive one last year. Let's go and have a massive one again this year in this period of time. This is the moving season, or the moving period for Aston Villa. And then, put ourselves in a good position over this period, and then we can maintain then the back half like we did last year, because injuries are going to bite us again at some stage. So fucking brilliant result today. 3-1 versus Fulham. Fulham, a team who are, quietly confident they could have gone and beat us today. They didn't, and we beat them. and we march on to Bologna during the week as well. I'm wrapping this one up a bit quickly as well because I have 2 small children beating on the door outside here looking for me to come in and play with them again. We had a successful trip to the hairdressers today. I'd say there was about that much taken off the hair, but still there was something taken off. It was for the first trip for a 2.5-year-old. It wasn't so bad, and considering she asked for it, that was a positive step. So yeah, we'll take that, and just like with Aston Villa, incremental progress is what we're looking for regards to stuff there too. So gonna leave you guys go. Listen, we'll probably be with you nearly every day next week, I'd say, the way things are going. It's just game after game after game after game. So hopefully we'll all join us again. I know Claret and Blue are on at the exact same time. You'll probably catch the end of it there for anyone who wants to jump out to it. But before you do, can you please hit the thumbs up? And if you're not following us on Twitter, can you go and follow us on Twitter into that cesspool? Also, guys, we have an Instagram, which I barely update, but I'm making my solemn promise to you now that I will start updating Instagram as much as I possibly can. And we also have a Facebook page. Try and get it out there on social media to try and I'm just brutal on Instagram. I just have a blank spot towards it. So if anybody wants to run
positive, Neil, you prefer the cesspit of Twitter. We all know that all the negativity is what makes you happy.
There's a lot of negativity on Instagram as well. Like, there's only so many people who are in the gym that I can watch. There comes a point of diminishing returns. But go like us, go follow us on Instagram, follow us.
You just have to update your own.
We have a TikTok as well somewhere, and we've all that stuff. But anyway, yes, diversification is what we'd love. Go on, give us a little early Christmas present, and if everybody went to follow us on Instagram, we'd up our numbers there as well. But I'm waffling now. I'm going to leave everybody go to your Saturday evening. 3 points in the bag. Go enjoy yourself, and we'll be back probably on Monday again, I suppose, with a preview of the Bologna game. And until then, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa.
Up the Villa.